Hello, happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome, one and all. Good day. No idea what that's from. We'll get that in the recycling. Good day. Hello. Are we live? We are live. We're live. We're live. Oh, what a morning already. What a morning. It's been chaotic already. Chaotic with a capital K. Let's say some good mornings to people we have got in here. We've got Just Inspired Kent. Hello. Oh, if Just Inspired Kent is in, we will open his parcel that he sent me. Farm Tech, good morning. Morning, John Paul Baker. And good morning, Andy's in the house. Good morning, Just Inspired. And good morning, Streamlabs. Streamlabs is always in. Do you know what? It's my favourite viewer, Streamlabs. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a Saturday. I'm working weekend. What's all this about? But I am going camping later. Prayers for all. Same to you. Have a good weekend. Yeah, we're going camping later. They rang me while we were on stream last night just to let me know what sort of times and whatnot, and they seemed a little bit merry last night when they rang me, and they were sat around the campfire. And the campsite, they said, was absolutely heaving. And it did sound in the background. And they were saying there were like 100 odd people sat there all drinking and having a party around the big campfire and whatnot. So it sounded lovely. So I'm not actually going sleeping camping. I'm going to say, oh, I don't drink. I'll be cold pop. But yeah, we're going to a campsite later. Bit of a walk, bit of a thing. Take the dog out and do that. So there we go. I would love to. Do you know what? I hadn't camped since I was at school, and we used to camp out on a local field, like a play field, somewhere. And I just always remember it was just a tent. It was probably a 2-man tent. There were like 5 of us in it, and we had no to sleep on. We took a pillow, so no blankets or anything like that. It was sweaty, horrible. It stunk. It was freezing cold. But I'd love to say it was good because we enjoyed it, but we didn't. It was just damn right awkward and horrible. So we have a visitor this morning. Up here. Stand here. Come. Up. We've got a visitor this morning. She's going to be helping us this morning. Stay. She's going to be helping us this morning. So she's going to be using... No. Stay here. You need to solder around. Hold that. Hold it. No, she says, I'm not working for you. She says, it's slave labour, this. She says, I work with balls. She says, that's the only thing I work with is a ball. Isn't it? With your ball? Yeah. We have a parcel. We have a parcel. I think we have Just Inspired in. So we have a parcel from Just Inspired. Got a present. So it came yesterday or the day before maybe. And we have a parcel, but apparently half of it's for me. And there's something else in it as well. So I'm going to open it on stream. So we'll get it here. Dog, don't go running away. This is for you, sis. So this is for dog as well. So we'll see what's this. What you got? Yes. This is from Just Inspired Kent. Thank you very much. So we will have a look what's in here. Oh, there's 2 things. Should we see what he's bought? Oh, you're getting excited now. He's bought Maddie, which is rather nice of him. He's bought Maddie some Rose Melt 95C melting point solder, which I'm sure she will love. And he's bought me some all sorts delicious meaty bite-sized treats. Wow. Let me just get these opened because, in fairness, no, this is yours. That's yours. You're having solder. Yeah, you're having solder. I'm having these mighty bite-sized treats. Now, I don't know what these are going to be like. Oh, we've got several different things. We've got several different shapes. Let me have a look at the shapes. Are we We've got round ones. We've got triangle ones. And we've got meaty bone ones. They've got to have a taste test, haven't they? Maddie's got the solder. I've got the treats. I don't know what these are going to be like. I love better. The taste. Oh, are you sure? Are we sure they're right way around? Are we sure? Can Just Inspired Demand. Oh, last time I tasted something as bad as that, it's when I went to bed with an itchy bum. Oh, dear me, that was terrible. Oh, they're not only meaty. Get a drink. I need more than a drink. Wow. That's going to take ages to get it taste out of my mouth. Just Inspired. Can I swap her? Can I have Solder and Cheeky up? There you go. They are. I don't know if anybody's tried them. I won't recommend it. They are actually all for human consumption. I'm liking to think they're all for human consumption. Anyway, so let's see if Maddie Moo likes it. Sit. Right, she's done half at battle. Right, so we're going to stay. What's that? No, hold it. I know you can smell it. Hold it. Good, yeah. Oh, she's terrible at catching. Absolutely terrible at catching. We'll see if she does anything better with this one. It's not that chewy. That's one I ate. She likes to taste it better than me. Sit. Stay. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Leave it. Cookie. Oh, we've got to try a round one as well. Got to try a round one. We'll try a trick and see if she can guess which hand it's in. There we go. Right, I'm going to put one treat in my hand, guys. We'll just do this and then we'll get on to it. I'm going to put one treat in my hand. You've got to guess number 1 for left, number 2 for right, and we'll see if you get it better than dog. So 1 for left hand, 2 for right hand. And I'm going to put them behind my hand. 1 for left, 2 for right. So which hand is it in? 1 for left, 2 for right. Please vote in chat. Still can't get that taste out of that mouth. One for left, 2 for right, and we'll see if Maddie gets it right. I'm sure she will. 1 for left. So we've got 1 and 1. Oh, we've got number 2 as well. 1 for left, 2 for right. Well, left is winning at something like 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. Did you eat one? I did eat one. Yeah, and I must say I had to spit it out. So lefty seems to be winning. We'll see if Maddie can get right. Sit. Right, you need to choose a hand, left or right. Which one is it? Well, there were no competition. Oh, she's licking that one. Wait, which hand is it in? Which one is it? Where is it? Oh, I think she's won. I think she's won. Hold it. Leave it. Good gear. Go on then. Right, we're going to say thank you to Just Inspired Kent for sending these. So you can have one more. Speak. 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 Stand up. Yeah, good girl. Go on then. Get to bed. Get to bed. Yes, I did eat one, and I will tell you, they are not nice. Not nice. Not nice at all. I won't recommend it, but I've done it again. The important, I'd rather eat the Solder. The important thing is Maddie loves them. So thank you very much, Just Inspired. Thank you for treating Maddie so nicely as well. So we will put them there. And I think what we'll do, every time that Just Inspired comes in chat and Maddie's about, she'll get one of the Just Inspired treats. So it's going to take me all day to get a taste out of my mouth. Going to take me all day to get a taste out of my mouth. I've got a joke about that. We've got a visitor. You can just see her sneaking on camera. Right, I have got a joke about that. So, right, go to bed. You've had enough. You'll be hyper. You'll be like a kid on sugar. Oh, yeah, they're not. Oh, they'll keep me more than thin. Zoe, would you just grab me a drink of Diet Coke, please? I'm just in a small glass. Get this taste out of my mouth. Oh, yeah, that's not clever at all. So it was left hand, and chat won. Chat won. So it just proves that chat's got equally good sense of smell. My fingers smell meaty now. So thank you. So what else he sent me as well was some rose metal 95-degree melting solder. And in fairness, I sneaked a little piece out last night, because if anybody joined me for last night's stream, which was a frustrating and interesting laptop which I continued working until gone midnight, in fairness, off stream, and I'll give you an update on that in a minute. We were soldering onto a ground pad near the GPU, and 450 degrees on my thin earthy solder iron, just wasn't touching it. So we had to use a little bit of this just to lower the melting point of the solder on the ground pad too. Had one of them dog treats. Do you want one? Go on, have a bite of one. Go on, it's lovely. Chat, do you think she should bite it? Do you think she should bite a dog treat? I think she should.
I think Maddie should have it.
Well, Maddie's begging again for a dog treat.
Maddie, I donate you one.
I think now, is it Maddie or is it daughter? I mean, she's begging for a dog treat here. Right, take it to your bed. 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 Go on. I couldn't do that to my daughter. Not again, anyway. She's gonna be so hyper with all that. I need that taste file. Well, yeah. So we needed to borrow some of this last night, and it did work exceptionally well. Right, you not having any more? Go to bed. Go to bed, or I'll buy a cat. Dream. No. I think they'll definitely keep me more than thin. But yeah, they weren't pleasant. Yeah, so I needed to use some of this low melt solder yesterday, which came in extremely useful. Ankia, good morning. And I mean, good morning, Finn Corbett, Just Inspired, Mookie, Dreams. Let me see who else is here. Ankia, One-Eyed Steve, good morning. Link Hunter, morning. And Andy, we've done all. There's Mookie, Andy, Farm Tech. Yeah, I've done Farm Tech and John Paul. So good morning, everyone. It will last me a long time. I cut the smallest amount off yesterday. I actually cut one of those round things. If you've not seen it, I'll show you what this does, guys. If anybody doesn't know, you just put the soldering iron on, and we'll give you a quick demo of it. So, the basics for low melt solder is if you've got a heat sensitive area, or like a ground plane or something like that, which you want to get off without putting a lot of thermal shock into components or places like that, you can use low melt solder. And in essence, what it is, it's a low temperature solder, which will enable you to bring the melting point of this solder, which is on there, whether it's leaded or unleaded, down to a lower temperature, so you don't have to put much thermal shock in. So that is the piece of solder. So I know it don't look amazing. I am on temperature 250. I'm just going to drop this down to 100 degrees. It says 95. So we might be. Oh my gosh, how slow is this? It's low. It's lowest the soldering iron will actually go is 100 degrees. See if I can cool it down with that a bit quicker. I'm just trying to cool end it soldering iron down. I have got work to do today. We are going to do a desktop next. So the update on the laptop we started last night. I've discovered a short on the chipset, hence why the chipset is getting warm. So it's looking like it's the chipset which has gone on that one. So this is 100 degrees on this soldering iron, and this is just low melt solder. If anybody does soldering, they will know that you cannot solder with 100 degrees on conventional solder. And as you can see, 100 degrees is just melting it. So if you had solder which melted normally at 300 and you mixed equal quantities, you'd probably drop the melting point down to, I don't know, let's say 200. But obviously you would use a little bit more than this, what's on there. If you put conventional solder with it, see, solder is just not touching it at all. And this is 110 degrees offset soldering iron too. It just won't touch it. It'll melt that one, but it just won't melt that one. You can't solder with this because it just won't. And this is leaded solder there, but this is low melt. But like Justin Spider said, it goes a long way. You only need small amounts of this, but you can't solder with it because it's fragile and obviously dissolves at wrong temperature. But don't do like I did when I was showing a demo of this once. You can then move this one out of that way, and then you like that, and it's still wet and it burns you and sticks to your skin. So please don't do that. So we'll move it with a piece of cloth just in case it is still soldered. So that is going to be extraordinarily useful, extraordinary. So again, thank you to our great supporter of the channel, Just Inspired Kent. I'm going to pop his link in chat so you can all pop along and have a look at dog. You can't eat that. She's thinking that that's for her. I've just thrown a tissue in bin. Not that type of tissue. Don't be so crude. Just Inspired Kent. Let's get a link to his channel, and it is Just Inspired Kent, and we will go copy and chat, pop it in there, and we'll do that. If you're on YouTube,
PCDD, little shit.
And if you're on Twitch, do the same and paste. So on Twitch and on YouTube, please pop along. If you don't know who Just Inspired Kent is, honestly, he's a brilliant creator. I do really enjoy watching his stuff, really do. So have a look at that on Twitch and have a look at that on YouTube as well. Pop along, show him some love, and drop him a like. But I'm sure everybody will already be liked and subscribed. It's quite a bit cheaper than the brand Low Melt. In case anyone is interested, I got it from eBay seller who's in Ukraine. Well, I bought some on AliExpress, and it gave me respiratory issues when I did it. Yeah, already subbed to him. Yeah, well, if you're not, get along there and give him a shout, give him a like, and everything else on there. Morning, Mick. Chill and relax. Another great creator who is in here. And we've got so many great creators in this morning. Look at all these amazing creators, and we've got Andy in as well from Swindon. Now that sounded like he weren't a great creator. I didn't mean it like that. I mean, we've got Andy. I'm going to not dig an hole for that one. Not going to dig an hole. That sounded like I was saying he weren't a great creator. I'm going to shut up because if not, I'll end up with a fire. So yeah, so thanks guys. That is that's that there. So we're going to put that in my bag. Oh, bag of bits. £24 for 100 grams. Well, I feel a bit guilty now because there must be 100 grams there. So I will, yeah. That is. In fairness, I think about half. Okay, thank you, Justin Side. But that is still incredibly cheap. If you look at the official Low Melt Quick, what's it called now? Quick Tips or whatever, I can't come up with the name. It's probably 2 or 3 times that price. It's unbelievably expensive. Unbelievably expensive. I've had to set my thermal camera off my microscope because it stopped working. But fortunately, I do have the P3, which I will be doing a review on. Chipquik, that's the one. That's the one. So yeah, the laptop from last night's stream. If anybody wants to go back and watch that stream last night, for some reason it's cut off halfway through, so you've not got the ending. So I'll tell you the ending. The ending was we couldn't do it on stream. It was doing everything apart from the power button press. There was voltage to the EC chip and everything. CPU was getting warm and everything. And when I tracked it back, it was a short on the chipset. So it's looking like that one is not very well, and a no-goer. I think it's probably been caused through. I'm not sure. Not sure it's caused through, but I'm thinking it's something to do with GPU or something like that. But it had been opened and looked at before, so you don't know what other person is into either. Anyway, we've got a desktop this morning. I've still got the taste of them dog biscuits in my mouth, or dog chews. A little bit better. Still not great. So we've got we've got a desktop this morning. So I'll try and show it on here. So this is the one we're working on this morning. We've got a water-cooled system. in a big white case. As always with these, it's always a little bit tricky to get on the bench. See if we can zoom out a little bit. We might get that in. That's probably about best we're going to get with this. What we're doing today, Escugs, we are, apart from the updates I've just given, and eating some of Maddie's treats on stream, which aren't as good as they look. Not for humans anyway, they're too vile. We're going to look at this one. This is one which was dropped off Wednesday, I think. Can't remember. Either, or maybe Thursday dropped off. And what they reported was it's black screening and blue screening. So some were using it, and he's told his dad that it goes off halfway through a game. And the reason why I have done this is because I'm going to show you what it is actually doing, which is different to what they tell me. I hate white cases. I don't know why. I've got to be honest. I bought a white case, but I bought a white case which is sat on the floor for my new build, only because I needed to build it, and I wanted the 4000D airflow because it was affordable and airflow's brilliant on it. If I wanted the black one, I would have to waited 10 days and pay more money. So I thought, well, it goes under my desk, I don't see it, I'll buy a white one. So I bought the white one, so I don't see it. But my main PC upstairs, my main gaming PC, that's black because I weren't too bothered about that. So yeah, it's not overly heavy. There is a bit of weight in it. I would say probably about 15 kilos, 16 kilos. So certainly not as heavy as some of the ones what we have had. So I'm going to show you what this is doing. Let me grab a power lead. So did a Mac off stream yesterday, a new hard drive in an iMac, cut screen out, put a screen and everything else. Got it all working and everything else. Customers picked it up this morning, took it home, and it's not working. Making a noise, so it looks like screen and just come disconnected. I don't know why. So, I'm going to have a look at that one as well. I'm going to drop that one back off to me. So we've got it powered. I'm going to plug. So I'll plug my light bulb. I'm going to plug my dim bulb tester in this because we might need it. So let's get dim bulb tester down. I do need to buy another light bulb for this. That one is in there. Stick that there. Ooh. And stick that one in the back. Okay. That's better. So we're going to test to the right, and it's off at the moment. We'll flick it on at the wall, and we'll flick that on. Okay. So 240 volts. I don't know, probably can see that if I zoom down. So we're at 240 volts, which is standard UK power. See that? Not as clear as it could be. 240 volts, flickering a little bit. I wonder when my solar power kicks in, if I'm boosting more back in, whether it'll come up on voltage. Interesting one to think about. Morning, James. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And currently 33 degrees, which is probably temperature in office because it is a little bit chilly, and we're not pulling really any current. That'll be a little bit of standby voltage from the unit and the PC. So, and it's got a power factor of 0.14.
PCDD, little shit.
Simon, good morning, Simon. Simon. Hello, 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 hello. So we're gonna turn this on, and we'll see what it does. So I'll press the power button now, and we can see it flashes. So if we ignore the light bulb and just look at the fans down here, the fans are doing the same. So move that off shot. Can you see the fans are doing the same? So we've got a high side short on this. I would imagine it's the power supply on this which is shorting out. Morning, cows. Good morning, good morning, good morning, cows. So yeah, I would imagine it's the PSU which is shorting, because if it was a board short, the power supply would generally handle it. But if it's power supply short, the dim bulb tester normally handles it. Not always, because you still can have a board short which feeds back and disconnects power. But normally it's usually the interesting side of the power supply which is causing it. So just to show you once again, it's just flashing that. So I'm not going to take it any further, apart from we're going to do some diagnostics. So we'll just disconnect that. It's getting a bit warm, actually. Oh, it's getting so warm. And we'll move the dim bulb tester out of the way. Out of the way, out of the way. Oh, good afternoon, Simon. Oh, sorry, Ronnie. Good afternoon, Ronnie. Good afternoon, good afternoon. I had a good month last month, actually. I don't know if anybody saw the post, what I put on. 400 and something subscribers I gained last month. What? 441 subscribers or something with X amount of views. It was crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. We're closing in on that 2,000 subscriber count, which is unbelievable. It seemed like only 2 minutes ago when I hit the 1,000. So first things first, we're going to cut a load of these cable ties off because we've got far too many on. We don't need them. Well, we do need them, but not for our purpose, because if it is power supply, do that. And then what I am going to do is disconnect the power supply itself. And this, so many cable ties. This was a home built system, so they have done a good job of certain stuff, which is cable management by the looks. I've not opened back yet, but I think what they've probably done, and I can see it certainly down here, and what sometimes happens is, I'm pretty sure you're not going to get the shot, but they put this cable so tight, because I've obviously pulled it down the back, they're actually pulling the connector on the board. Chance that it's not going to damage it, but they generate a lot of heat, these, on some boards, and then if you have got them quite tight, you can start not being nice. So we've got, see what socket board it is. It is a Prime A520, so it's an AMD, this, isn't it? And it's a socket 1331. Is that AMD 520? Sure it is. AMD 520, AMD board. So that'll be DDR4 RAM, which is sitting there. Subscriptions are appreciated and free. Quite correct, Cows. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Don't cost you anything to hit that subscribe button, and doesn't cost you anything to hit that like button, but it just means so much more for my algorithm. Yeah, please remember me when you win the lottery. Even if it's only a tenner, please donate. I'm thinking about getting ThinkPad dock for my laptop. I had a dock on one of my laptops, and I used to use it quite a lot. And I did find it a lot easier. But what I found was I never actually carried the dock. I never carried the laptop anyway. It just kind of sat on my desk. So the dock kind of then just ended up getting in the way. So I ended up getting rid of it. But mine was an old HP. Oh God, what model was it? I can't remember. It was an old one. I'm talking, I think it had Windows 7 on it, and I upgraded it. I brought it right up to Windows 11. I only gave it away a couple of years ago. It's just inspired going. Got to do some stuff. Enjoy the stream. Thanks a lot again, Just Inspired, for your very kind gift. Have a super weekend, and we'll catch up next week. We'd give tea and biscuits. So yeah, let's disconnect that. Oh God, there's still not left much. A room. Whoa, about best shot we're gonna get. And they're so tight I can't even undo them. So let's get a screwdriver on the go. Oh wow, they are tight. The heck did that go? How did that get all the way over there? Let's that side panel off. Let's move it over here. Out of the way. Wow. I'd love to get that glass front panel off, because I'm just petrified of it shattering because it don't know all the support. I don't think we're going to be able to get it off easily. Oh, if they're £12, and you can get one for that, I would say certainly if you're going to be moving it around a lot, it saves some of the connections on the side. Yeah, they don't. People don't realise how much they're pulling it, and I agree on that, Simon. Cable management is nice, but what they've got to bear in mind that cables stiffen up a little bit over time with use, and they can start tightening up and getting a bit tighter, and it can put extra strain on the cable. So whilst cable management is brilliant, oh God, they have to tighten everything within an inch of its life. It's not always the best way to make sure everything is ultra tight. I'm only going to move this just so I can see how it is. Many melt. Yeah, I've had a couple melt. Worst one I saw, you know, I had a power supply with yellow cable, you know, the traditional yellow, black and red cables and whatnot, and the 12-volt connector for the power board, the cables had gone near on black. They were very dark brown because the heat build up in the cables. And I did one not long back actually. It's on stream somewhere, and the cables just broke when I did them because they dried out that much, and they'd gone that fragile. And I think the copper inside on certain parts of the cable, because they'd burnt themselves out, had just gone so fragile. Right, so we can see that they've done an excellent job at cable managing. I'm not a big lover of doing it that tight, but each to their own. I would rather leave it a little bit of breathing space, but again, each their own. I got toothache. Nothing worse than toothache. All of my Seasonic PSUs have been wonderful parts for systems. I don't. Ugh, I've got fluff all over me jumping now. I don't think I have fitted a Seasonic. I don't buy Seasonic for customers. I tend to buy Corsair because I quite like Corsair units. What the heck is that? Oh, can you see? Can you see that? That's the I don't know what that is, but clearly that shouldn't be there. That's actually inside. We're looking through a gap there where the plug is, but there's a whatever it is there, piece of yellow something which clearly shouldn't be where it is. Which is sticking through. I don't really see it on that side. I can, but it's difficult for you guys to see. I'm not too sure, but I am thinking it's the power supply which has gone on here. It's not a yellow cable, Tychos. It's actually, I don't know what it is. Not that one. It's metal. That one's metal one. That'd be a really bad idea showing a metal product inside. No, it's not. It's. Do you know what I think that is? I think that's a cable. I think it's a heat shrink on a cable. Let's get this PSU out because I'll be interested to see what that is, just for curiosity's sake. Whoever has fitted this have thought these screws are never coming out. I ain't come across a screw yet which is anywhere near loose. They've tightened these that much, they've actually eaten through the paint completely. You would no way on earth get this to fall out. Right, let's see if we can. Now the good thing is I've got the same power supply in stock, so as long as this cable's all right and it's just the PSU itself, it's oh gosh, wow, come on you darn thing. No, that was not liking it. That's it. Let me just And prize that off. Yeah, got my alcohol over. That's IPA, not drinkable. Right, just let that soak in a second. I'll put a bit of IPA down there to see if I can loosen adhesive on that sticky pad. You just fill that up because I'm nearly run out. Be quicker and easier if I take the lid off and pour some in rather than trying to squirt it in. I get it all over the place and spill it down my leg. No, there you go. Spill it all over my chair. There's been an issue with, I've had about, must be close to a dozen customers ring me up over the last 2 days with LibreOffice. I don't know if anybody else is using it or come across it. They have done an update because all customers are saying, well, I left it to do its update on LibreOffice and it stopped working. So I don't know what LibreOffice has done or whether it's been compromised or something like that. But I've had several customers now ring me, about a dozen, saying my LibreOffice has stopped working. They can't get into LibreOffice after update. So just be aware of that if you have got it yourself. Well, USB-C, it might not have USB-C because your laptop might not be compatible for it either. Yeah, I'm not a fan of white. We were just saying that you can see dust absolutely everywhere. A lot of heat is caused on startup, as that is the most power is consumed. Yeah, a lot of heat is, unless you're a gamer or something like that, or heavy tasking. So yeah. Yellow. Oops. Use a razor. I'm just going to let it soak through the adhesive because I'm going to try and use this pad again, where alcohol will release the adhesive and then allow me to reuse it. If I use if I can get it started, it should just come off. There you go. It is coming away slightly. Where's my little squirt bottle? That's better in there. There we go. Once you get it started, you're okay. Wonderful. Just means I can use it again. There we go. So that's off. So put the dusty PSU to one side. I'll just put this on the floor, and we'll get a cable tester. Wipe that off, so I'm not going to be breathing current. There we go. So the yellow thing, that is cable. That is really poor. You see that now? It's a bit clearer on there, isn't it? That's what I spotted before the yellow, but that is a cable. I think this power supply has been taken to pieces because that's not aligned, or doesn't appear to be aligned properly. Has it got a warranty sticker or anything on it? No, well it has, but not like you'd expect. Let's just get the there is a warranty sticker there, but that's quite poor. That the cables are stuck down there. Tiger, good morning. I'm doing good today, thank you, sir. How are you? Well, it's still got a warranty sticker on it, Simon. I put Libre on. Oh, who's that? It is. Oh, I can look on screen, can't I? Hectic Harry. Oh, I love the name Hectic Harry. Thank you very much for your very kind subscription or follow, whatever it was. Can't see whether it's YouTube or Twitch. If you have got an Amazon Prime account, you can pop over to Twitch and hit the subscribe button on there, free of charge, £1 per month for your favourite creator. I'm just going to have a look to see if there's anything which has gone pop in here. I love their soldering. I love it when it's just loads of wires like that. That is really, really poor. Still always unnerves me touching mains voltage stuff. Don't like it. Don't like it. Yeah, sorry. If you have got a Twitch account, you can link it to your Amazon Prime account and you get to support one of your favourite creators. Doesn't have to be me, but just please use it, guys, because it means a lot to creators. It earns us about 70p or something, so it's never going to make us rich. So, but it's not there for money. It's there to show support. And if you don't use it, Jeff Bezos keeps the money and buys another super yacht. And do we really want Jeff Bezos to own another super yacht? We don't, do we? Gosh, them screws are tight. If my screwdriver can handle this. Probably not. One out. Oh, we're going to be in luck. I think. Oh gosh, that is so tight. Right, so 3 out of 4 have come out. Good. Have a peek at your new one. Doubt the cable will look that. No, I don't think it'll be. I have got the new one, but I can see with the cable where it is that it's. Oh, wait there. No, I'll tell you what. I think that's design. Yeah, it is. It's design. It is. If you can see there, it's it is how it's designed, just to lay flat between there. So, yeah, it weren't that which were causing it to go anyway. That's assuming that it is the power supply side, which it would normally be for what with the dim bulb tester doing what it's doing. Can't. Oh wait, no, it's a smoothing coil. Can't see anything in there which is, say, got a problem. Is that a big crack? Said that before. Weren't good on wedding night, I tell you. No, it's not. Oh, wait there. Is it a crack? No. Bridge rectifier looks fine. I won't repair this anyway. I'll replace it if it is the power supply. Let's put a temporary power supply on the PC and see if that repairs the or corrects the issue. And then we can cross that bridge as and when we come to it. Yeah, it does look like they've routed them slightly different. Yeah. It does look like an afterthought. They had to add more cables. I would agree. It does look like they've gone, oh damn, we forgot to put a cable over there. Where can we put it? And they've gone, let's just stick it round there. Why they ain't, oh, saying that, they have come out. I would hazard a guess that this yellow cable here on this power board here is probably the same contact as it is on that power board there. So why they haven't bridged it onto the back and took it round the front, I don't know. unless it's going to be obscured but caught with something like this, because these are bent at such an acute angle anyway. And it's just do you know when you start looking, you just think it's just a bit poor, because you can see where the cables are starting to get trapped. Fair dues, it's not trapping it enough, but you can just start seeing this kind of indentation. So if they were trapped it slightly at wrong place, and that's why they've put double heatsink, double protection on it, because it's a curve and it's pushed against something, which will be pushed against these heatsinks here, because that's what it's basically pushing against, this heatsink here, which is quite sharp and rigid, and the lower part, which you can't see, you can just see there, that's where that bit's pushing against. Just bad design, really, isn't it? But it's always that end which makes me smile. Let's just put a load of capacitors and smoothing caps and resistors. At least we've got a resistor there to stop us getting electrocuted when we touch the pins of the plug. We don't want a nasty shock, do we? Definitely can't see any issues. That's why it's always worth spending the money on a good power supply. People overlook this. I usually say that to them, James. When people are ringing me for advice on parts, or they're saying, "What do you reckon is this good parts list?" I'll go, "Yeah, but buy a decent power supply." "Yeah, but it's 1,000 watt." Buy yourself a 700 one from a decent brand rather than a 1,000 watt one from a Chinese brand. Because I tell you now, your 1,000 watt one will produce 500 watt in a Chinese brand. And do you know when it goes and it puts wrong voltage down, wrong pin, and it blows your entire system, you'll wish you'd done it. False economy. You need something which is stable and going to give you better power management and not have good overcurrent and over voltage protection and you know, smooth power delivery. There's an awful lot to a power supply what people overlook regularly. Anyway, let's get that to one side because I don't want to touch that, because I'll probably go bang. We don't like it when I go bang, do we? It's not my most favourite pastime, going pop. Just clear this and we'll get the PC back and we'll get a test supply on the go. My gold power supply. I keep losing my connections. Yep, that's a power supply. That's that one there. Where's my... There it is. GPU one. Connect my GPU together. So you all know what I'm doing this weekend, which is camping. Has anybody got any nice plans, or not nice plans? Are you going out somewhere? I suppose that's the thing. It's forecast for another heat wave starting in the UK next week. So please go out and do something this weekend, because I reckon by Wednesday, Thursday, we could be into 30s again, which again is just far too hot. I'm a hot day for me. 20 degrees. We've got fluff like a scene from Stranger Things. I hate water coolers. Gosh, that is so tight, can't get it out. My gosh, if they super glued these. Oh, that's that side out. Brilliant. I'm going to take his GPU out only because his GPU might trigger it as well. We will put his GPU back in once we've tested the board on his power supply. On the temporary power supply, should I say. Let's hope if it is his PSU that's gone, it's not done damage to anything else on the board. Boom. So what card have we got here? We have a 8GB 5060 Ti. That's the card we've got. Not a bad card. It's not the best brand out there, but you know, it does the job and it'll play in games. Dev, I sent you a picture of a new power outlet on Discord. Is that sent to me? Do you ever get one of the little power supply boards that I showed you? Yes, you're referring to me, James. Yes, I did. That one. Not that. That one. That's the one what you are recommended. Are you suggesting I use that, James? Is that what you're thinking? Should we give that a go? Same. Every time I build, I always buy a new PSU, so I end up with a couple spare. Yeah, I think I've probably got about 4 test PSUs. Plus, I've got, I don't know, 4 or 5 new ones sat on shelf as well. So I can always open one of them and do it. See, current. Yeah, let's give that a shot then. Let's rig this up. I've not used this yet. This is something James recommended me to buy. So let me get the power supply, which is number 3 on screen. And port 3 link done. Remember to set it to 12 volts because we don't want to be kicking 19 volts down there because it really wouldn't like that. And there you go. So we're at 12 volts and turn that on. Boom. So we're going to try this. Not use this yet. This is a little power board which will enable us to see on OBS up here what the power draw of the main board is. So I've not used this one yet, so we'll get that plugged in down here. Which is there. And we'll plug that one in under there. I just love it when it's baking it. I'm going to just cut that off before I go any further. If you cut the little tabs off there, it just makes it easier to get in and out, certainly as a test thing. I'll cut the lugs off, so you've got no lugs holding it on. Can you see that? I do it to make test supply, and I'll do it to this one as well. It just means I can push them on and off rather than having to clip them on and off. Don't know where that piece went. So it means I can just pull it in and out rather than anything else. But it just makes life so much easier. But yeah, not use this yet. We don't need the SATA connector, but we do need this. So we'll plug that into conventional power supply. Get red into, we'll get white into red, and that. Done. Stick that somewhere neat. So we're not pulling anything yet. We'll turn the power supply on. So we can see we're pulling 0.7. That could just be a bit of a board thing. If you look up here, we are pulling a little bit of current, but that could just be the board. I've not used this board before. So we'll try and start the unit and see what it does. Wow, pulling 8 amps through it. I've hit my overcurrent limit. So we're just going to turn that off. So we will bang the current up a little bit. That's just telling me I've hit my overcurrent limit. So we'll just do that. Morning, Sparta. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're well. Hope you are well. I'm just going to unlock and lift my overcurrent protection. Shift, overcurrent. No, shift, overcurrent. There we go. Right, we'll set that to its maximum, which is 30 amps, just for argument's sake on here. Shift, and we'll bang myself a little bit more ampage in. And we'll do on. locked on. My overcurrent has come back down. Why has my overcurrent come back down? Right, let's have a go at turning that on now. So we've lifted it up, turn it on. That's better. His liquid cooler is flashing, but I think that's probably flashing for a different reason. That looks like it's posting. That looks like it's posting to me. And we're pulling 15 amps of current at 12 volts. This type of motherboard doesn't have the onboard cooling such as heat sinks or very strong, isn't suited by air coolers. No, they need better airflow, and again, people don't often think about stuff like that, about airflow across the board. This ain't got the VRM cooling. It's an entry level board, it's the 520 into it. But the trouble is, those are, I'm presuming they're set up in the right orientation, so they're actually blown out of the case. These are blowing out of the case. That's blown out of the case. So unless they've got reverse polarity on them, which I don't know without looking, they're all actually exhaust fans. So the problem is, where's the inlet? The inlet's on a filtered one here at the bottom, which you can't quite see, but no fans on it. So it's relying on air pressure to do it. So it's severely limiting on the amount of air what's coming in here. So you're going to have so much heat build up here. So if these are blowing out, which it looks like they might be, they really need to be blowing in just to get some fresh air in the case. So the GPU and the fans, the water cooler fans, which are sat at the top, which are again blowing out, same orientation, that's why I'm assuming they are doing that. Crazy. I saw the 2 pence comment. Yeah, I used to start AM coolers on my boys. Stick. Yeah, the Prime motherboards, they're not bad actually. I have fitted them a lot. But yeah. I'm only using this to test, I will say. I'm only using it to test. I bought it just to see if, see proof of concept, see if I could do it. I have got a proper power supply. I'm not going to power the PC from it. I'm just going to put a... If I can get a picture on screen, we'll know it's... We'll know it's power supply, but I'm assuming it's power supply. So just keep an eye out in bottom right hand corner down here. And we'll just see if it produces a picture. I mean, system's only pulling 200 watts. I don't even know what CPU it is. It might be a non-graphic AMD CPU. But that certainly looks like it's been through some post cycle. Just give that a second. I'll just grab my trusty test GPU. Isn't that one? I can grab it. Where's it gone?
PCDD, you little shit.
Where's it gone? Oh, damn it. Morning, TFN. Let me shut that back down. I think that's posting to Windows. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you today, young sir? This is still not posting, but we will try proper. There you go. Oh, now that was handshake signal coming through. Do you see it flashing bottom right hand corner? That was handshake signal coming through. So that means it is posting. It's just not quite got to the stage of giving a picture. Yeah. So I'm gonna turn that off, and I'm going to use a traditional power supply rather than that board. Let me just turn my power supply off. Remind me to reset my power supply because I don't want to leave that. Ouch. Bugger. That gets hot. Wow. You never warned me about that, did you, James? That gets incredibly hot. Wow. 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 That's a good 80 degrees. You never told me that got hot, James. Whew. Whew. That gets really, really hot. They got really toasty. Yeah, really, really toasty. Carthos here, power. Yeah, 16 amps on such a small. I did buy the high rated one. I bought the highest rated, but they'd probably just make up the ratings, don't they, and sell you the same one just at a higher thing. I'd have to look the chips up. So we will put that to one side. That works anyway. Let's get a power supply plugged in. This is my test supply. There it is. No, not there. There it is. That's it. Let's get. Okay. Oh, so we've got a test supply connected up now. Let's see if it powers. No. But interestingly, listen to this. I'll see if I can pick this up. I'll keep quiet. Listen to this. That's not the water thing, it's the fan kept on there. So it's not powering up, so it's not the power supply. And I think that's why it was doing that, because it was on. So it's not the power supply. So it's a board or CPU issue. Now, if it is a graphics outputted CPU, it could well be a CPU. Because they do go. It's not his PSU. Let's hope it's just the board, because that's the cheapest thing or the best value thing that can change. Check the RAM. You see it's okay. Yeah, I'm going to check the RAM out and see if we can get any post on it or any change of state. So I know it's not going to post with no RAM, so I'm not looking for a post. I'm looking for a change of state. So we'll get that plugged back in. That's it there. It will sit there. Look at that sitting there. Like it meant to be. I can never find my PSU one. There we go. So the idea now is we get a change of state. We've got no RAM in it. It was cutting out before. I don't think it's RAM related, but we've took the RAM out and we'll try the same premise. The power supply is on. Right, it's doing the same thing. So next thing what we're going to do is remove the battery board. I'm going to next just remove his hard drive. So hard drive out. And we'll just repeat the test. Because it'll take a second. Still doing exactly the same. So next is his battery board. We'll check his little stopper out, otherwise we won't be able to get the battery out. Again, I don't think it's going to be this. I'm leaning towards CPU or power supply now. So repeat the test. No, doing the same. That is flashing on and off. It's not a refresh rate on camera. Get rid of his powers. Oh, it's USB 3. Wow. Come on out, you donkey. Wow. I'll get that out. Oh, got that out. And we'll move his fans. Audio. So we're just stripping back anything that might be an issue. That USB. And his front connectors. So we're just going to be left with power and So now, only things which are plugged into the board, barring a working power supply, is CPU, not cooler, just CPU and motherboard. So we're going to just replicate turning it on. English, bro. Did I not speak? Oh, did somebody else? English on, oh, Tigers. Yeah, sorry, I can't read that. Wait 1 minute. Yeah, it shouldn't make much difference, Tigers. Yeah, I tend to, depending what stage it's at, Simon, I tend to kind of work forward and then kind of come backwards as well. So if we get it working, but I think with a problem like this, it's unlikely to be a peripheral. It's more likely to be CPU or board, and I would say, right, so power supply is not kicking in. Yeah, power supply is not kicking in. Let's get thermal camera out and just see if anything is coming to life with thermal camera. I very much doubt whether it is, but we will have a quick scoot and have a quick look. So just make it easy, I'm just going to plug his power switch back in, and then I can hold it in because it will kind of come to life with his power switch plugged in. So we know it's not. We know it's not cooler. So again, I'm going to plug that in so we can see when the cooler is, the PC is coming to life, because the fans will light up and stuff like that. So that's the only reason I'm connecting some of these additional ones back up. So now if we press the power button, we can see with that flashing that it's actually trying to do something. Yeah, well, he says he bought it off a friend who built it some years ago, and it's been working fine. The AM4 chips, if it's a graphics one, so if it's got the G suffix on it, I have had quite a few of those blow. I'm suspecting it's board or CPU at the moment, but we'll get the thermal camera on it and just see if anything is lighting up. I think with how it's lighting up, I don't think we'll get to see much, but we'll give it a shot. Let's just get thermal cam on. Oh, brilliant. Hang on, there's a problem. Thank you. Does that mean thermal camera is not going to work? Connect. Connect. Yay! Ah, we have got thermal camera. Yeah. So we're going to have a look and see if anything's coming up. If the processor overheating, then that's a problem. Yeah, it is. I don't know whether that processor is overheating. So we'll have a look on thermal camera, see if there's anything got board lighting up as a hotspot. And if there's not, we will do that. So I'm going to press it and hold it down. So we're after something pulsing. Get my thermal camera a little bit better than that. So there's a couple of things getting warm. That's the EC chip up there. But there's nothing kind of pulsing on temperature. This is obviously around, ouch, fans are coming on, so don't touch the fans when I'm pressing that. What was that there? No. No, there's nothing kind of illuminating and getting, you know, like a lighthouse coming on and off, like you would expect. So it could be a cap, because it clearly is something taking some power. So we will just do some testing for shorts on the board. But I'm going to take the cooler off, because it probably needs a service as well if it's not been touched for a few years. So we're going to have to set the water cooler head off anyway and see where it goes from there. Yeah, it does. It is very high current, but I think that's because there's short on there and power supply weren't tripping out on the short, James. So I think that's why it was sitting at 16 amp. Yeah, and Dreams is absolutely spot on with that. It was forced. Yeah, the power supply doesn't offer the same on and off as a PSU would. So that's probably why it was sat at that rather than anything else. I mean, if graphics card and everything else was connected, but I mean, what's that? It's about 280 watts. Yeah, it's a lot without a GPU, that. Because CPU's probably got, depending what CPU it is, somewhere between 65 and 130 TDP. So it's not like it's a high. Let's get rid of that. Pull those out. And the one there. There it is. Right, thermal paste is wet, which I will demonstrate as I get it all over my hand, then all over the case, and then everywhere else. It's nice quality thermal paste, that as well, you can tell. Give that a clean off and we'll see what CPU it is. I'm thinking, which is always a bad thing, it's all over the place. I just can't get to it because of the darn thing. I'm going to disconnect that. We can move that out of the way. Done. Just unplug that a second. I'm just going to clean this CPU off a bit better than that because it's not pretty. They've put far too much heatsink compound on here, whoever's done it. But, I mean, it's all over the board and everywhere. And what we're going to have to do here is clean it with some tissue. Get some of them wipes and a bit of a brush so we can poke down in there to clean it all up and off. It's probably the RM CPU, yeah, could well be. It did trip out, yeah. It weren't tripping out, it was because it weren't pulling enough anyway on that one. But it's doing exactly the same as it was before. I've got one of these boards in stock. I've got a test board as well, so at least we can test his other stuff on here. That's about as clean as it's going to be. Right, let's just check his. Right, it's a 5700X3D, so it has no graphics. Put that up a bit. I'm going to take CPU out. The CPU socket looks okay, and apart from the chip having heatsink compound all over it, which is in line with everything else on there, chip looks fine. Then what we'll do, we'll get a test CPU, put it in this board. While that's set, so I'm going to give this a spray over here. Right, so his CPU looks fine. There's no missing or bent pins that I can see. But there's no reason to think that that was going to be anything other than fine anyway, because it's been sat in the PC working. So I think it's something that's gone with that. So yeah. That's why it got incredibly. Yeah, probably. Let's test here this board with another CPU, and then we'll test his CPU and everything else in a test board. I think we'll find. I think we'll just find it's the board that has failed. So we have a Ryzen. I need to start looking after these Ryzen chips. That's an AMD, because I'm bending my pins on some of my Ryzen CPUs. I do need to come up with a better solution for storing our Ryzen chips. So what's that one? That's a 1200. I thought I had a... Yeah, I have it there. No, it's an AMD. That's not a Ryzen. I thought I had a 3700. I know I sent Cows my 5700, but I thought I had a... $3700 test CPU. Clearly not. Let's give this a quick wipe over. Not too sure whether this will locate right, because there is a pin which is slightly out of alignment, so I might have to straighten some pins on this first. Put it the right way it works. Just give it a quick jiggle. So I might be easier with this. He's just getting my spare board down. So rather than mess around with that, I'm going to get a spare board down. Rebuild this in a spare port. Rebuild his CPU in a spare board, his RAM, and everything else, and then we can see from there whether it's his board or not. But I'm suspecting it's his board. Oh, get that there. Right, let's grab an AM4 test board. Not that one. That's an Intel board. That is no idea DDR3, so clearly not that. That's an Intel board. I think it's that one sat down there. That's another Intel board. Isn't it? AM4 boards. That's a A320, so that'll do. Another one. Ouch. Intel. We've got another one. Another Intel board there. Got 2 or 3 AM4 boards. I don't know where they've all gone. Must have. Honestly, I don't know where all my AM4 boards are. Puzzling me, is that? Puzzling me. I ain't got a 3D printer. I know. I think Ronnie were telling me the same. Sparta referenced that. I don't have a 3D printer, but I do need some. It's not so much the Intel ones. I've only got, I think, 2 Ryzen chips now. So I do need something to keep my Ryzen chips a bit safer than just leaving them in the case. That's the problem, because I don't want them getting damaged. So we've got some RAM in there. Graphics. I don't even know if this board should work, that's why it's up there. It's my test board. Yay! Let's just grab a quick heatsink and stick it on there. Bit of thermal goop. Make it feel at home. Put that on there, stick that on a fan header just so we can see when it is coming on and coming to life. That'll do us just for a quick dirty test. Let's boot the board. There we go. So we'll keep an eye out on bottom right hand corner just to see if we can get a post on there. So fans are still spinning. I know that one in, well, CPU fan's still spinning. Pool maintenance just showing off now, TFN. Right, my CPU is spinning. Let me grab a little beep speaker. See if it's making any noise at all. This could be a board issue. I thought this board worked, but I'm not going to stake my reputation on it. Let's flip that off. I've got a BIOS battery. No BIOS battery in here. So it should. Let's see if it beeps. Put my thermal camera away. While that's posting. No, that's not posting. I need to mend one of those CPUs so I can. It's trying to post. I think this might be my board. I'd love to know where any other blinking test boards have gone. About 5 or 6 AMD test boards. Try this one. Another test board down here. Let's just post that just to see if it's working or not. Because this board is off my scrap pile. No, that one's that one's completely dead. Yeah, that one's completely dead. That one, I think. But we will try it with a stick of RAM in just in case, which is that way. Yeah, that one. I think this board is off my scrap pile. That one, so I weren't expecting that one to work. One I've had down on my scrap pile for a while. Oh, gosh. Trying to think where I put my AM4 boards. Let's take this one stage back then, and let's move that. Let me repair my test CPU and bang it in his board. Then we'll see if it is the board or that. That one disconnected. That one can go there. That one there. That one there. We've got a couple of AM4 chips here. As you can see, there's quite a few pins out of. I did rob a pin. That's the one I've robbed a pin off for Cows's thing. So I need to repair this one. So let's just straighten these pins up. They don't look drunk at all, do they? This end row. Get somewhere near putting them in socket, it'll straighten them up. Yeah, they're close enough. Like brand new. Yeah, better than factory. Certainly that one there, which is a little bit drunk. I also think this looks a lot easier than it actually is in real life, this bit. It's just time consuming, I think, rather than too tricky and hard to do. And then you just think, oh, I bent that too much. And then you bend it slightly too much and pin comes off. You've got to rob it off a different CPU. They will straighten when they go in the that's not looking too bad. I think that'll go in a socket. I know these here are a little bit squiffy. Squiffy, is that a word? But they're not looking. This is only a test CPU, it's not customer CPU, so we don't need to worry too much about that. That one there's slightly out. You can see now. There's one right at the other end, over here. I'll try this in the test board first. There's one close to the middle. I thought I kept seeing one, in fairness, Spartan. I thought I saw one which were close to the middle. Oh, yeah, that one there. I'm just looking at this kind of section here now, and center. Can't see anything misaligned with that. That one's slightly out there. Yeah, that one there. But again, a lot of these will straighten up when they go back in. Yeah, I'm thinking that is probably not too far off the mark now to do it. I'm going to offer it up and see if it goes in, because a lot of them will kind of straighten a lot as they go in to where they locate, and it'll straighten them down. So just out of interest, I'm going to try this in the test board just to see if the test board is working. I mean, it could be a BIOS thing as well. Right, that's either straightened them or bent them. Right. So let's see if that straightened them or bent them, because that'll do one or the other job. Yeah, straighten them a bit. Can't see anything missing. So, oh, what's that one there? No, that's perfectly straight. Just a bit of dirt on it, I think. Yeah. Right, so that's going to go in the board. Whew. Left row is bad. They will. It's going in the board is Koshing and damage. Left row. Yeah, it is. It's going in the board though, so they will straighten. We have got one there which is just looking a little bit iffy. Somewhere around there. Can you see that one? Trying to track it with my eyes as I'm going round. I know these are a little bit wobbly, and that side is a little bit, but they're going in, so we're okay. It's only a test CPU, just to see if this board is working. Oh, it's going in a lot better, so we'll get that down there. This will just tell us whether this board's working or not, and then if this board is working, I mean, it still could be a BIOS issue for the board, but at least it'll tell us whether it's working. And then if it is, we'll try that CPU in his board and see if it's his board that's not working very well, or not too well. Okay, that's in. Let me just see if we can post. Right, power supply is on. CPU is getting a little bit of heat in it, not a massive amount. We'll just keep an eye out on bottom right hand side. CPU is warming up and warming up. and warming up. Right, CPU is getting hot. I'm possibly can't touch it. We'll just stand a heatsink on. If it fits, it fits. Damn right. Send it. I wonder if this is an OBS problem when it's not picking picture up. OBS, do me head in. Aha, what was that? We had a bit of a flicker there. I'm going to try his graphics card in this board just to see if his graphics card will give me an image, because it could be my GPU. It's got that sat in there. The rest sat in there. A flash, yeah. The flash is the handshake just kicking through James. So it's pretty. It's because of OBS and way my splitter works. The flash comes up with a handshake signal rather than a picture. It's like an after image sort of flash. Yeah, I used to get excited about that, but I know what it is now. Let's plug his GPU in because we won't get a picture out any power on there. Power supply on. Plug CPU fan in so I can see when it's coming on. Right, I've got fan spin on here. I know it's difficult for you guys to see, but I've got fan spin on here. GPU fan spin. We've actually got a green light on here. Just waiting to see if we can get a picture on here. But we know what OBS is like. It doesn't always output. But we'll try the same test with this chip on his board, because it could be my chip. This test CPU has been rattling around in my drawer for a long time. Shouldn't take too much RAM training. We've got no beep off it either. We have got a beep. My beep speaker's come out. Plug my beep speaker back in. Let's just repost that. Ignore picture, but just come up because I don't think that were a picture, and we'll just post it again. Right, it's got one long and two short beeps. On a, is this an Asus? Let me see what that says, because I don't memorize them. One long, two short, Asus. Video error has occurred and the BIOS can't initialize the video screen. I reckon it's doing that on both of them. So, I mean, this could be a fault on my board, on my test board. Let's take his CPU out, my CPU out there, and try his CPU in, which is kicking around. Just, that's it. See if it does the same. Because if we get exactly the same reason, it's either both CPUs which are experiencing the same problem, or it's the board. Right, CPU isn't getting warm on that. Afternoon punch. Afternoon. RTX GeForce word call, yeah. Yeah, GPU display error, that one long and two short. But that could be related to that. But his CPU is not even posting this board. Let's just disassemble this board and try my CPU in his board. So at least we're doing all the checks we can. Push that to one side, push that to one side, put that back. We've got stuff all over. Oh. So is that my CPU? I believe it is. Is that the test one? Yeah. So this is test CPU in his board. Stick of RAM. Bang a piece of his in. I'll get a beep speaker. It goes on there like so. We'll get a graphics card, which is just my test one, which generally never lets me down and never fails me. We'll get HDMI in there. We'll get a power supply rigged up. I know how to get thermal paste on me. I've got thermal paste on me. That in there. That there. Done. We've got power on. Power is on. Just going to see if this gets warm. So my CPU in his motherboard. CPU is getting hot. Getting hot. Getting hot. I can't hold that much longer. And we've got a flash and a flicker. So it's done the handshake. Fans have slowed down. That's posting. Posting. Guys, we've got picture. So it's his CPU what's not very well. His RAM's working. His board's working. It's his CPU. CPU's causing the issue. Shorted CPU. Yeah. Shorted CPU. Let's try his GPU. A bit of power rigged up to it, which is that one just there. And that one in there. So we've got his GPU, working system CPU, which we've just had. Stick that back down there. Gets a bit crowded in here. But hey, we're all friends here, aren't we? There we go. On. Hands are spinning. Just keep an eye out on, see if we get display. It is AM4 Ryzen. What it is. Fans have slowed down. We're going to get a picture here, guys. We are going to get a picture. Fans have slowed. There you go. His GPU is working as well. I'm not going to try it, James. No point tempting fate. Who did I watch the other day? Sorin, Uncle Sorin, did something, didn't it? And he went, "Oh my God, I can't believe I did that on a working PC." So sometimes it's best not doing it. So it does look like Carl thought, "Can't believe we have picture." Yeah, so we've got it's CPU, which is one of the two things that I suspected from start when we've said it's AM4 what's died. It's a 5700X3D what's died. They do get very hot, so I'm just wondering whether it's heat related, because saying that there was so much thermal paste on it, I can't see why it would get hot unless his water cooler had started to fail. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. It's never the CPU unless it's CPU. You're right on that. I will say on AM4 systems, I think it's probably about 70-30 CPU to motherboard failure. Intel, I would say it's probably close to 95% always motherboard. AM4, I would say it's close to 70-30. They do fail. How can a motherboard run 1st gen and 5th gen at the same time? It's not. It's not. It's just AM4 motherboard. If you're referring to that, it's DDR4 RAM. It's DDR4 3200 RAM. If you're referring to RAM, it's an AM4 motherboard. They shouldn't fail, but they do fail. They've got heat issues with them. If you look through some of the forums and whatnot, AMD has admitted there's some heat issues, and it was the way they stacked the die, but it mainly affected the GPU ones because they stacked the GPU below the CPU on the chip, and it just basically overheated the GPU section, where this isn't even a GPU, but it affects the cache. You know, the extra VRAM X3D cache on the ones there. So I have seen it. I guess the question is about the CPU. There are only a few motherboards that have removed the 1st gen with the updates 90%. Oh, are you referring to the? Sorry, you're referring to the AM4. Yeah, my test CPU is I don't know. I put it now. It's either 1600 or 2100. I can't remember. One, but when you update the BIOS on some of them, it removes them from functioning. So that's probably why that board didn't work with that one in. It all depends on what the failure is. For warranty on my alarms going off because I need to go. Yeah, not all boards stop running the 1000, 2000 CPUs if you upgrade to 5, but a lot of them do. The vast majority of them do. Could you claim under warranty? AMD will honour the warranty claims, but they basically inspect the chip, and if there's any signs of heat issues, no, they don't honour it. And that's same on the AM5 platform as well. They are honouring it on the 78, 79, 98 and 99 because of the BIOS issues from the manufacturers, where they issued the wrong BIOS and it was over currenting or overvolting the CPU and causing it to fry. If that's the case, that's fine. But if it's shown as overheating, e.g. you've tweaked it or overclocked it yourself or not had ample cooling, they're not going to honour it. So I've had a few customers with those to do that. Guess CPU comes with a 5-year warranty. Yeah. But by the time you send it back and they do all tests, are you without your PC for 2 or 3 weeks for them to tell you that? I don't know. Yeah, OEM aren't warranted. No, they're not. They're warranted with original manufacturer who provide the kit. I think it's about 5 to 6 weeks. I've had a couple of people, Simon, which have managed to get it, but on newer AM5 platform. I've never known anyone get it on an AM4. And the last one was only about a month ago. He's in the process of claiming for his second one, in fairness, because his first one went and he upgraded. if he puts a new CPU in, I reckon you're looking at a couple hundred, 230 quidish for a CPU for something like a 5800. Because AM4 CPUs are new, are a fortune. The AM4s are just really, really expensive. Yeah, the upgrade for DDR5 counteracts it. So whilst DDR5 AM5 chips are better value because they're newer and everything else, they're similar price. You pick one up for about 180 quid, I think. You've then got board and everything else, and the RAM. Yeah, and everything's expensive. They do reckon, if you watch the brilliant Mr. Who's the Boss video the other day, which is really, really good, and I was reading on some of the forums, they do say come holiday season, which is coming up in America, which I think is September, October time, prices are likely to double yet again because of demand for that. So it's gonna be. I ain't even got a CPU that I can put in for him as kind of a lone one to get him back up and running. But the good news is it is just that. But it shows you how much current the CPU actually can take as well. Yeah, high-end boards are still quite expensive. I think mine were about 380 quid. I think the AM5 board I put in my streaming PC down here. They're not cheap items by any stretch of imagination. Not by any stretch of imagination. Yeah. But it's to be expected nowadays, isn't it? That's the problem. Gone are the days of affordable computing where you could build a system for, let's say, £400 or £500, which is what I used to build for people, and it were entry level, but it didn't. So gone are the days where I can do that now. Your entry level systems are closing in on £1,000, which is just absolute scandalous amounts of money. Retro New, hello. My ROG board was 600. Wow. Well, I'll show you what I've got. Pull it up. SYS info. So this is mine. I've got a 9800X3D, and it is a MPG X870E Edge TI Wi-Fi, and I think that was about 380 quid, and I bought it on offer, and I paid 200, low 200s, 210 quid, something like that for it, because it was on offer. I got that, and then I've had CPU a while to do that, but other than that, RAM were quite expensive, as you would expect. So yeah, that's mine, and it sits all day long with nice cooling on it. 5 gigahertz, not really doing a lot. I'm only streaming at the moment, so there's only a couple of things kicking off there, but yeah, but what I liked about it was it gives me quite a few. There's one NVMe, another NVMe, another NVMe, another NVMe, and then I've got some SATAs on there as well. So it gives me the potential to do it. And this has just got my cheap graphics card, my 4070 Ti, which is more than adequate for streaming me 5090s and my gaming system upstairs. But yeah, it works well, does this. $305, yeah. 300, is that a lot? 305. I don't really pay any attention to it. This operating has been installed for, I don't know, about 8 years now. It's just it's just updated itself in the background to Windows 11. I despise it. I would have never updated to Windows 11. Yeah, 302 processors running. 179,000 handles. Should be less than 100. It is, but it's such a. I've got so much stuff over time which has accumulated on here, with different things running in the background to recognise other file formats, other drives for data recovery, because it's predominantly the data recovery system. This, So there's all sorts of stuff I have on boot up as well. But yeah, I agree. It could be a lot less. It doesn't struggle though. It does not struggle in any sense of imagination. It does everything I need it to do, and a lot more. And a lot more. Crikey, 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 crikey. I'm going to have to speak with customer on this one then, to see what he wants to do, reference his CPU. I will probably say to him as well, because we all know what's coming here, don't we? Water cooler. I will test his water cooler with the CPU that I've put in, but I mean, it won't really be a fair comparison because mine's not really going to generate a great deal of heat, being whatever it is, 1200, 1600, or whatever it is. So I might suggest to him that if it's 5 years old or so, which I think he was probably pointing towards, that water cooler could do with maybe a precaution and replacement because they don't last forever, and maybe see if he wants to upgrade to a air cooler because I won't fit water coolers. And certainly if he's going for a new CPU and air cooler, there's no point putting a CPU in it now and then water cooler packing in a few months' time if it is on its last legs, or if that's what's caused it to overheat and die, and do that. Because if it has got a blockage, I might clear blockage by moving it, but it'll pump its way back round and come back up. Mumbo jumbo, what's that? I need to improve the number of processors. Yeah, an X3D is what I'm streaming with. Yeah, my gaming system upstairs is my beefy one. That's what I stream in, 9800 X3D. Yeah, it's only a. I only built it 2 months ago. 32 gigabytes DDR5. I don't think it's super fast, or 600 mega transfers, and I say 4070. It's only for me streaming. It's not anything. I use it as a work PC. So yeah, it does everything it needs to do. it just handles it really, really well.
Who's a good girl? Who's that?
I had 64 gigabytes of RAM. I don't need any more than 32. I did have 64 in my gaming PC, and I took 32 out because I just didn't need it. And that's a 9850X3D 5090, and it had 64 gigabytes of RAM. But I kept my FPS at 75 FPS. So yeah, I don't really do a great deal with that. You have a 6-core one, 4.6 gigahertz. Nowadays, a lot of the processing power, certainly on mine, is redundant. I don't need anywhere near what it kind of throws at it. So it is what it is on that one. What's your game of choice nowadays? I've got a driving rig. I think on Discord, I think I posted a video of it. I've got an F1 driving rig and big curb money. Let me see if I can show you. I've got a message. Friend request. Somebody's friend requested me. I ain't got a clue how to see who's friend requested me. I'll see if I can figure out in a minute how to do that. Pending. Ken, whoever Ken is, no idea who Ken is. The driving rig is this one. Can I get that on the big screen and show you? Ignore Stormtrooper. You know, he all he does is watch me. So that's me. That's me driving rig. That's the only game that I play. That's the only game I play. It's the only game installed on the system. Well, I'm saying only game. It's there's about 4 or 5 years worth of game on there, but yeah, that's the only game that I play. But I haven't updated to 26 because I just haven't had time to play it. I bet if I put I don't know, 16 hours worth of thing on that one last year. That were it. I just didn't have time, so I ain't even downloaded 26, which is new update. But it was only a partial update anyway. 26 season update rather than anything else. No, don't complain at all. The thing is, my gaming system Puncher, which is a 9850X3D, so it's higher, slightly higher. If I put XMP profile on that up to 72, I think that is, it flags anti-cheat. I ain't even got anti-cheat installed. I ain't got any cheats installed. I just play one game. And I generally play on my own rather than online. I do race online, but not often. And it flags it as anti-cheat. I had no idea why. As soon as I enable XMP in BIOS, crazy. I'm Kiki. I'm an F1 fan, so it is. But I am losing. I'm falling out of love with it because I've played it for a few years now. I think 2019 was the first one I kind of got into it. So 5 years or so now, 5-6 years. So yeah. 9950X3D. I've just had a customer upgrade to one of those. I've not tried one myself, but that's obviously the king. But you pay for it, don't you? But they are a nice CPU. Do you really need 32 gigabytes RAM? I don't think you do. I don't think you do. I mean, some games will utilize closer to that. Certainly with my 5090, I've got in my gaming system because that's 24 gig, I think that is in that. There's a lot of VRM on there as well. But I play it in 4K because I've got the widescreen OLED monitor, and it is a 240 hertz widescreen monitor, but I cap mine at 75 hertz. So my GPU's running at about 60%. So it's not anything detrimental. Yeah, 16 gigabytes for most computers nowadays is okay. 32 gig if you're really going to push it and stress it a little bit more. I think a lot of people get hung up about must have more, rather than looking what they're using. The amount of customers which will come in and I'll say you need a new hard drive. Oh, what size have I got? We've got 1 terabyte in. I want one of them. Well, you might want one, but do you really need one? You're using 30 gigabytes. What's the point in buying a lorry to go to the supermarket to buy a bottle of milk? You need something which fits the purpose, don't you? And don't pay over for it. If not, it's just sat there not doing it. Yeah, games. It depends with Windows as an overhead, and if you run Discord background, something like that, you're probably going to be hitting around 16 gigabytes nowadays. So I think 16 gig for a gamer is the minimum. My gaming system, I wouldn't have dreamt of putting any less. I say I put 64 gigabyte. I put a 64 gigabyte kit, 4 16s in, and or was it? No, sorry. Yeah, it had 64 16s, and I ended up taking 2 16s out and selling them because prices rocketed. I bought them when they were quite cheap. I think it cost me at the time about £130 for 32 gig, and I bought 2 32 gig kits to give me 64. Yeah, most the cap themselves because it's got dynamic memory management. That's the thing, Tiger. It will, even if you put a lot of RAM in it, they'll manage themselves down because they don't need it. But most of them, depending on your graphics, it's your VRAM which it needs. It's your VRAM which is the big hungry thing, isn't it? So but yeah, it's what it is. Guys, if there's anybody sat there who hasn't liked, subscribed, or hit the like button, much appreciated. And same on Twitch as well, if you don't mind hitting that follow button. If you are on YouTube and you have a Twitch account, I would appreciate if you don't mind going over there and hitting the follow on Twitch as well. It just helps the algorithm a little bit. I am chasing 2,000 subscribers. And it's free to like, and it's free to subscribe, and it's free to follow on Twitch as well. So it is much appreciated. I'm going to speak to the customer and find out what he wants to do on this one. I have got another desktop through there, but I've got somebody coming at 2 o'clock, so we're camping. So I need to shoot anyway, because as you can see, I need a shower, a shave, and grab some lunch before we head out. So I'm going to wrap it up today, and I'll probably be back streaming on Monday. We'll certainly do the desktop. I've got some laptops. I've got about another 4 or 5 coming in on Monday morning as well, and hopefully we'll have an answer on this one as well, so I'll keep you updated. Did do an interesting stream last night if you want to check out yesterday's stream, which had a laptop on and a all-in-one. Did both those last night, and there's a couple of review videos which have just landed last week as well. One a little preheater, if you've not seen that, and I'm hoping to get
PCDD, you little shit.
I'm hoping to get I'm hoping to get the other AliExpress stuff up there, reviewed and done on there. Don't forget to rate Dev on Google. I don't know how we do that, but yeah, thank you very much. Have a fantastic one. Thank you very much for everybody who's contributed, everybody who's sat in the back of it, and everybody else as well. I was looking to put ship, but I can't see who's put ship on there. Did miss that one. I'll say that. Ooh, bot. So, right, guys, I'm going anyway. Have a good time. I don't think there's anybody streaming at the moment for me to do a handover to. Just let me have a quick look now. There's nobody streaming at the moment. So I can't pass you over to anybody who's in my list. So have a good one, gents, and we will catch up on Monday probably. See you later, guys. Bye bye now.